Gangster, gangster.
Right on, we're here at Laughing Tiger Studio with Erin Tadena. Erin, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the fuck you do?
I'm a recording engineer, producer. I can play guitar and banjo and bass or whatever you need on your tracks. Yeah.
Nice. So, audio specialist?
Yes.
Sweet. Where did you first get your start in audio? Because when I met you was at LMC in the recording arts program, and it was obvious that you were like way more advanced than everybody else.
I wouldn't say that. I started playing in shitty high school metal bands and liked the idea of recording ourselves because I wanted it to last. And then realized I suck at playing guitar in metal bands, so I just really got into recording and went from there.
How old were you?
I started playing when I was 9. I started playing in bands when I was like 15.
Alright.
Yeah. Started recording stuff when I was like 15 or 16.
So playing music is kind of what drew you into audio?
Totally drew me in.
Alright.
And I realized I like being not on stage, just behind the scenes. Felt way more comfortable for me. So, yeah, I really dig it.
You didn't stay in the United States, right? Like you lived in England for a while?
Yeah. I've moved all over, but I really got my start here, especially in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Like San Francisco, Oakland, like that's really where I got into music and going to see shows all the time. And
nice. Did you do any audio work while you were in?
No, nothing at all.
No? Okay. What are some of the first songs you recorded?
Oh, Christ.
You said you worked with a band, so you were recording your own bands?
Yeah, so that had to be 117 with Mark Ramirez, who's like now playing with tons of people. Super great guitarist, lives in Martinez.
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you start recording? What year?
Okay. I had to be 16, so 30 now. 14 years ago.
Alright. What are some of the first recordings you did professionally that you actually got paid to record?
It had to be at this studio when I was actually like making real money, working for Ron Nevison, who was one of the engineers at Woodstock. He also worked for like Black Sabbath and tons of different bands back in the day, and I got to work for him here. Yeah, so that was with bands I can't talk about right now, but it was awesome working for someone with that kind of education, that kind of history.
So, who have you worked with? What are some bands or artists that you can talk about?
Got to do some stuff for Third Eye Blind. Got to do stuff for like Cure for Gravity, local bands. Just a little bit of everything.
Who else? I know there's more.
The Ace of Cups, which means I got to work for Bob Weir, Taj Mahal, like some of the members of the Grateful Dead. So a lot of those guys.
Nice.
Old school classic rock. And like rappers like Burner or Doogie, or like there's a lot of people around here.
Yeah, do you have a lot of rappers that come into the studio?
Surprisingly, yeah.
Bay Area rappers?
Yeah.
Can you say any names?
Not really.
No? Alright. But that's cool though. I'm stoked that you're working with some Bay Area rappers.
Yeah.
Do you have any projects you're working on now that you can talk about?
Oh, Christ. Not really. Not that I can talk about yet because of labels, but the Ace of Cups is coming out with a new album in the future, so that'll be fun.
What about previous projects that have already come out, something that you've worked on? So what's like a project you're pretty proud of that you've you've been a part of?
Honestly, being a part of the Third Eye Blind project was pretty amazing for me because that was what I listened to growing up and working with Sean Beresford, who was one of my heroes when I first started out. And yeah, he's definitely someone I've always looked up to, and now we're colleagues and we get to work together.
So now that you're working with some professional recording artists, do you ever find it intimidating, or do you get nervous around some of these people?
No, because honestly, it's just because they're regular people, and the more professional that the artist gets, the more that they've done in their past, the more chill they are most of the time. They just come in, they're like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like when I got to work with Huey Lewis, one of the most polite, nice guys you'll ever meet in your life, and
yeah.
I had to do everything I could not to wear a Back to the Future shirt when he was here.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that too because I worked with Yo-Yo Ma, and he was just the nicest, coolest guy, you know,
super nice, super chill all the time, and they're just people.
Yeah,
just don't get intimidated by them.
Yeah, when you're working with people, you know, and these professionals, I mean, you're human. You've got to make mistakes.
Oh yeah.
How do you deal with a mistake while you're working with a recording artist?
My bad. Let's keep going. Literally, don't dwell on it. If you focus on it that much, they're gonna focus on it that much.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody mispatches something, or is trying to work too fast. Go slow. Do shit right. And just be chill. Be yourself. If you've made it this far in the industry, you probably have a pretty decent personality and you're fun to be around. And that's half the job, is just to be a fun hang.
Yeah, I know a few people that are really talented engineers that you just can't be around. You can't be around them that long, and unfortunately, that kind of
it hinders. It hinders so much. You just have to be fun. You don't have to be the life of the party, but just be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, be chill.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you've faced in this industry? I know there's a lot as an engineer. Lack of sleep?
Honestly, lack of sleep.
It's a big one.
I was doing 16-hour days for 3 weeks straight, and I was sleeping on in the bed upstairs. And I finally decided to drive home one night, and it was 1 a.m. I wound up hitting a raccoon, doing $5,000 worth of damage to my car.
Oh.
I was oh, should have just stayed at the studio. Lack of sleep will just destroy you.
Yeah. No, I feel it because I do a lot of live sound and I sleep in my car a lot. I'll work a 16-hour day and it's it'll take me an hour to drive home and then an hour to drive back. I might as well fucking go sleep in my car in a parking lot. Yeah. So I feel you on that lack of sleep. That is a challenge engineers face. So as an engineer and a professional engineer working in a studio, it's really hard to get into a studio.
Yes.
The turnover rate for engineers is not a big one.
Yeah, that is very, very true.
Do you have any advice for the up-and-coming engineers out there trying to make it into a studio?
Have a good personality, make a good cup of coffee, and be fun to be around. Half of my job when I first started here was just to be here. I was here for as long as I could be every day. I gave up a lot of my social life. I lost a bunch of friends because I wanted to work here and I was willing to spend the time here. And now I'm the chief engineer, and I wouldn't have done it any other way. This is the life I want. I love it here.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice.
Oh, it's a big sacrifice.
It's a huge sacrifice.
And if you have a girlfriend or a wife, they need to know they're not going to see you very often. Luckily, my fiance gets along with the owner of the studio really well. So she's here. When she gets off work, she just drives over and just hangs out.
That's cool. Very cool.
She gets to hang out with all my artist friends, and it's fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that me and you are still friends,
of course,
and
dude.
that
you get it.
I get it.
You live the same life.
I'm there. Erin, it was great talking to you. Laughing Tiger Studios.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll come in and record something.
Yeah, do it, and you'll have some tracks from me.
Right on, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I use it on piano all the time. And little microphone condom.